Hate collecting, yes. Hi guys, welcome back to another video on my channel. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. For today's video, we're going to be doing a Q&A. I just recently hit 900 videos on this channel, which is kind of insane to think about because, yeah, I don't know. I started this channel almost, we're on year 4 now, and I didn't really think about like how many videos I'd ever posted on this channel. But when I realized we were at 900, I was like, man, maybe we should do a Q&A. And a lot of you guys have been asking me to do a Q&A recently, so I decided to do that. So I asked you guys on Instagram and on YouTube to send me questions, so thank you guys to anybody who sent to me. We have a couple different categories of questions. I asked on my personal Instagram, which you guys should all follow because I post really cute pictures of me, which I know that you all want to see. And then I also asked you guys on my trades and sales Instagram, so like collecting questions as well. But we're just gonna go ahead and get started with everything, and we're just gonna go through all the questions, answer them for you guys. Like I said, if you guys like me, definitely give me a thumbs up and subscribe down below. But let's get into it. Let's get into the juicy questions. First question: who is the one idol / group that you haven't seen live in person but you really want to? That's a great question. I've seen actually so many idols live now. I'm so fortunate to have seen so many people not only in Korea but also in America, that I would say the only group and idol that I really want to see is EXO. I would love to see like full group EXO. I know that's really not possible right now. I would settle for a Baekhyun solo concert. That's also not possible right now, but I would really love to see like full group EXO, but I know that's not possible right now. What is one thing that you would like to combine between South Korea and the US, culturally, etc.? Oh, this is such a hard question. I feel like really I like both places a lot. You guys know, like I'm currently living in South Korea, I'm from the US, and I really do like both places a lot. I feel like if I could combine one thing, I want a dryer. That's like the one thing in Korea I'm like really lacking. I feel like you guys know in America, dryers are just, everybody has them, but here I think I can say like in Korea, most houses don't have dryers. They just like hang dry their clothes, and I don't know, that's just like one little thing that I hate about Korea. No dryers. I want a dryer. Somebody asked, is it cheaper to live in Korea than America? I don't really know, because where I'm from in America, it's quite expensive. The closest city to me is Boston, and Boston is a very expensive city. I also lived in LA for a while, so LA is a really expensive city. Obviously right now where I live in Korea is not expensive, but there are expensive places in Korea to live. There's also cheaper places in America to live, so I don't know. I guess it would be like, depending on where you are, it's cheaper and it's more expensive is what I can say. Somebody asked, are you happy you deserve to be? That is so sweet. Thank you so much. I'll be honest with you guys, I have been going through a lot of things just like emotionally and mentally and just like in my personal life recently, but you guys know how happy I am to be in Korea and how fortunate I am to be in Korea, so I would say overall yes, but there are some things just going on behind the scenes that are a little bit difficult right now, but yeah, overall I'm doing okay. How was taking the decision of not studying and going to Korea to do something different as the rest? So as you guys probably know, I did decide to drop out of college last December, I think it was last December, and obviously come to Korea to do language school. I think honestly it was the right decision for me. I really love what I'm doing right now, but I think it was definitely a decision that I didn't take lightly. I knew what was gonna happen. I knew that I wasn't gonna be able to graduate with my classmates. I knew that I was going to be behind, and I knew that, you know, it was gonna make it a lot harder for me down the line. But again, I think that there's a lot of pressure, especially on young people, to go to a 4-year university and to have their life decided and to get a job within 4 years. And I really wish there wasn't, because I really don't think you need to have your life planned out when you're 17, 18 years old graduating high school. I wish that people were more lenient, because, you know, I may have done things a little bit reverse, you know, like kind of went to college for a little bit, got my job, and then moved away to learn a language, but I have no regrets, really. I have no regrets. If you were into K-pop, what do you think you would be doing with your life right now? That is so funny. I love how you worded that, because honestly, I have no idea what I'd be doing with my life. I think that, you guys know, I was a fan of a lot of things before in my lifetime. I was a really big fan of One Direction. I was a big fan of 5, 6 in Summer. I was a huge Shawn Mendes fan, and it's not to say that I don't like those people anymore. I still listen to the music. I have those days where you listen to Moments by One Direction in the shower at like 2 a.m. crying. I have those days. I also have my Shawn Mendes days where I'm just like, I cannot listen to anything but this man, and I just go head empty. And that goes for 5+ as well. But I think that I would definitely be into something. I really just like being a fan of things. I think that I gain a lot of strength from like what I enjoy. So I'd definitely be a fan of things, and I'm also just like such a big music fan. I'd definitely still be listening to music. I feel like a lot of people think that all I do is listen to K-pop, and that is 99% true, but I do listen to other like music genres and other artists as well. So I'd still definitely be a fan of music, and I think that I'd just be into a different thing, just not K-pop. I'd still be a fan of something, I'm sure. Would I be spending as much money? Probably not. Favorite album from each of your ults / semi-ults? I don't have any semi-ults, but I'll go through my ults. My favorite BTS album is oh my god, Most Beautiful Moment in Life Part 2 or Love Yourself Tear. EXO is The War. NCT 127 is NCT 127 is Regular. I think it's regular. I think so. And Dream is We Go Up, or the full length album. I really love Hot Sauce. Wavy is Take Over the Moon. And between like all of the group albums, I will say my favorite. I don't know, don't ask me that. And then for Red Velvet, my favorite album is The Perfect Red Velvet. For Stray Kids, my favorite album is probably Go Live. Go Live or I Am Who or Go Live. And then for TXT, my favorite album is Dream Chapter Magic. Those are, okay, that's my final answer. If you decided to stop collecting altogether, what collection/PCs would you never get rid of? I think I would never get rid of Stray Kids because I've worked so hard on my OTA collection. I really don't see myself downsizing it anytime in the future. I probably also would never get rid of BTS just because I love all my BTS cards. And I probably would never get rid of TXT as well. I've worked, again, too hard on my, the thing is, like, I've worked really hard on all my collections, but I feel definitely, like, more attachment to definitely, like, my old collections. I probably would never get rid of Bowman either. Bowman's coming with, yeah, I'd probably say, like, Ults I'd probably never get rid of. Or I would have to deeply be, like, in debt to get rid of them. A favorite non-K-pop song? Whoa, right now. What is my favorite? I honestly, like I said, I don't listen to a ton of like, K-pop songs. What is my favorite? It's a sad song. So the thing is, when I listen to American music, I'm a very big fan of ballads just because, like, I personally really like to sing. So my favorite sing in the shower song right now is Stuck With You by Ariana Grande and Justin Bieber. I know that's not like a current song. I don't really know a lot of current songs. Yeah, that's my favorite song. What was your dream job when you were little and what is it now? When I was little, I wanted to be a pop star. That was like my biggest job, like my biggest dream job ever. I would say for a really long time, all I told my mom was that I wanted to be in a girl group and I wanted to be a pop star. That has since changed, and I also really wanted to be a teacher for a long time. I think pop star, teacher, and then I've always wanted to be a mom. That's like my biggest dream in life, is to be a mom. That's still one of my biggest dreams, but right now my dream is to be an interviewer. I would love to interview idols. I think like that's like my dream job right now, to be able to like work hard on my platform, to be able to interview idols. I think it'd be so cool just to be able to like speak with idols and like interview them and play games with them and just like get to know them. I think that would be really cool. So I think like that's like my #1 dream job. Obviously YouTube was a dream job as well, but you guys made that possible, so shout out to y'all. But yeah, probably say that's probably like my dream job right now. Name your subscribers. Everybody wants to like have like a name for us. I feel like you guys can decide that. So if you guys have any suggestions for like a name that you guys want to call yourselves, let me know. I just can't name you because I'm not creative. Favorite video that you have filmed and posted so far? I actually have like a playlist on my channel of all my favorite videos, but I think some of my favorites have been anytime I film carpool karaoke. I really enjoy those videos. I just think they're really fun to film and edit, and I really also love photo card storing. I watch all my photo card stories. Yeah, like I have a whole playlist on like my favorite videos. Have you ever fallen in love with idols, like actually having romantic feelings towards them? I think that it's very easy for fans, especially, to fall in love with the idea of an idol. And I definitely have caught that delusional curse quite a few times, but we don't actually know them. They're real people, and a lot of the times, like, yeah, they're showing their real personality, but we don't know them. That's just like point blank, we're not friends with them. So I think that it's very easy for us to fall in love with the idea or like the image of idols, but I can't say that I've ever fallen in love with an idol because I don't know them personally, if that makes sense. It's really easy. They literally market themselves to for us to fall in love with them. But again, we're not really falling in love with them, we're falling in love with the idea of them, which is the psychology lesson that we did not need today. I'm in love with Bowman. Do you plan to stan or collect new groups for 2022? I think my goals for 2022 is to not stan anybody new and to not collect anybody new, but updates to come. I am expanding my photo card collection a little bit in 2022, but it's not for new groups, it's just groups that I'm already collecting. Do you sometimes regret going to Korea? I think that it's very easy for me to regret when I'm in like that state of just like homesickness and like, I guess, general just like unhappiness, which is like a very normal emotion. I feel like people automatically assume that just because I decided to come here and I worked really hard to come here, that I'm not allowed to feel unhappy here, which is not a thing at all. You are genuinely allowed to feel emotions, and one of the emotions you can feel is homesickness. Homesickness is a very normal emotion. I felt homesickness when I lived in California. I felt homesickness obviously when I lived in Korea, and it's a very normal emotion that people just like automatically assume because you chose where you're living, like you don't get to feel, which is not true at all. So I guess I wouldn't say that I regret my decision, but I definitely feel homesick a lot. What do you think is your biggest milestone with YouTube? I think this is a really hard question for me because I'm the kind of person that never feels satisfied. I know that there's a lot of you guys, but I don't really feel satisfied with it. Like, I always want to work harder. I always feel very disappointed with myself. Like, I don't know, I'm very pessimistic. I feel like everyone thinks I'm like this optimistic, like, oh my god, let's do it, let's go besties. And let's be real here, I'm not. Like, my personality truthfully is like very pessimistic, very negative, very just like la, and that's just like who I am as a person. But I think that I always strive to work harder, and I always strive to make better content for you guys, to post more, to do as much as I can in order to, you know, hit those milestones in the future. But every milestone is a milestone, you know, 1 subscriber, 20 subscribers, 10,000, 30,000, you know, they're all Milestones. And obviously I'm very grateful. I don't want you guys to think that I'm not grateful for you guys. I'm very, very, very grateful for you guys. But I think that for me personally, I always want to work harder. So I consider it a milestone, okay? Anybody who is watching this, I love you, but I always try to work harder. My dream PC. Blue Hour Lucky Draws. As you guys know, I just started collecting Subin really seriously. Subin from TXT and Blue Hour Lucky Draws. Especially Hoodie Subin. I'm not spending $600 on him, I can't. My favorite aerial era. Wow, that's a great question. I think I had a really great era of from when I was like third, fourth, fifth grade. I used to wear basketball shorts a lot and like really long t-shirts. I'm gonna spare y'all a picture, but the basketball shorts era I think is iconic, so I think that's my favorite era. What are your favorite dishes in Korea? My favorite Korean dishes are chimdak and dakgalbi. Both are chicken dishes. I haven't really gone crazy into trying different things because I am a very picky eater, I'll be honest with y'all. If I don't eat those, I really love barbecue. I love meat. But I think like chimdak and dakgalbi are different. Like they're both chicken dishes, but they're very different. And I think those are my favorites. Do some of your friends and family make fun of you for liking K-pop and collecting albums and photo cards? No. And I know that might be crazy to some of you guys, but no. I think that one thing in life is that you can't choose your family, and that's just a fact. I'm so sorry. I think that first and foremost, for friends, I'm gonna say this for friends because I know that a lot of people have told me before that, you know, their parents don't support them and their siblings don't support them, and I wish I could help you in that way, but unfortunately, like, I don't know how to teach everybody to be respectful to other people. But what I will say is that you can choose your friends, and if your friend doesn't support your hobby, they're not being a good friend. And I think that you should really reconsider like your friendship with them, because I think personally for me, one of the most things that's important to me with friendships is respect. And if somebody can't respect my hobby, which is the bare minimum that I would just expect from a friendship, then I personally just wouldn't want to be friends with them. I think that you shouldn't have to tiptoe around your friends. Like, it is totally valid for your friends not to like the same things that you do, and it is okay if your friends don't stand K-pop. I'm not asking you to force it upon them to like the groups that you like, but there is a level that you need to be able to be comfortable with sharing things with your friends and have your friends respect you back. For me personally, nobody in my family except for my cousin likes K-pop, and everybody in my family doesn't really care what I do and like what I spend my money on, especially because obviously I am making all the money to spend on K-pop, but my parents are 100% supportive of what I do. They literally allowed me to come to Korea. They said, Ariel, do whatever you want. Like, if you're gonna pay for it, go ahead. And they obviously know that I do my channel, and my parents are very supportive of my collecting of K-pop. They do agree that I have some spending problems, which, you know, I am aware too. But I think that, again, the biggest and most important thing is respect. And I think that I really hate when I see, especially like my younger viewers, tell me that their friends make fun of them or whatever. That's not a friend. They're not being a friend. I've learned over time that if people can't respect me and respect what I enjoy, then they should not be a part of my life. And that is just something that I have grown with, and I've, you know, it's really hard, and I understand it's really, really hard. But I think that it's so important. It's so important to surround yourself with people who genuinely respect you and who are okay with what you do, even if they don't understand it and even if they don't like it as well. I think that it's such an important thing, especially like something like this, because at the end of the day, we all have things that sometimes we don't want to share with other people that we enjoy. Like, we all have like just like things that we enjoy that maybe others don't. Like, something that I enjoy that others might is I love watching videos of people cleaning cars. Like, that is such a weird hobby. I don't know why, but I really love the satisfaction of watching somebody like clean a very dirty car. And I love like aesthetic videos like that, like soap cutting. I freaking love soap cutting. And if you can't respect my love of soap cutting, then we can't be friends. I'm sorry, it's just a fact. Somebody asks, do you meet your friends often? Actually, this is quite funny. A lot of you guys obviously have heard about my story and like taken that and like obviously decided to come to Korea yourself. And I've actually met so many of you guys through like obviously just my school and then just through like DMs. I wish I could meet every single one of you. Like, I really, really wish I could, but I do get like tons of DMs constantly asking to meet up. And I wish I could meet with every single person, but obviously the state of the world right now, we always have to be careful with who we're around. But yeah, I have met so many of you guys since coming to Korea, which is something I'm so fortunate for. So thank you, like, to everyone who's met me. What is the group that got you into K-pop? For you guys who don't know, the group that got me into K-pop was BTS. Has there been a time where you lost passion for K-pop or making videos? No. No. It's quite funny. I feel like a lot of people ask me about like, oh, Ariel, what are you gonna do when you stop liking K-pop? And I feel like that's just a really hard question for me to answer because I don't see an end. Like, I really can't see an end to this hobby because there's constantly new groups debuting, there's constantly new music, there's constantly new things to look for. And I think that yes, there may be a time where maybe like my alt shift or like my interest shift and I'm into different groups instead of other groups, but really because of the amount of groups that debut constantly and the amount of comebacks that happen constantly, I really don't see myself falling out of K-pop anytime soon, like at all. Somebody asked, when did you get into K-pop? I've answered this so many times. 2017, BTS, when they released DNA, that got me into K-pop. What made you study in Korea? What are you studying, and what's your advice for studying? Okay, so I came to Korea in 2019 to study abroad, and that was more just like, again, because I was interested in K-pop and I wanted to go to Korea. And the second I came here for my study abroad experience, I fell in love with Seoul. I just really like the city. I think it is such a cool city to live in, and especially because I am a K-pop fan, this is like one of the coolest places to live if you're a fan of K-pop. So I guess like that's like what made me study in Korea. Obviously right now I'm studying language. I am taking language courses. A lot of you guys asked me that. I'm in language school, so I'm only learning the Korean language every single day, 5 days a week for 4 hours a day. But that's kind of what made me come back, is that I really enjoyed my experience studying abroad, so I wanted to come back. What is your advice? My advice would be figure out how you want to come to Korea, whether it's enrolling in a university where you're from and doing exchange, or coming to Korea for school, or doing language school. There's a bunch of different ways to study in Korea, but figure out what program you want to do and go from there. I think like that's like the best thing, because depending on if you want a Korean degree or if you want a degree from your country, it's all gonna be different. So figure that out and you will do fine. What made you start collecting photo cards / albums? Albums? I don't remember. I started collecting albums when BTS released Love Yourself Tear, and I think I just bought it because my cousin had an album and I was like, ooh, that's kind of sick, I want one. And then I pulled a photo card and then it spiraled from there. But photo cards was the pandemic. When COVID hit, I decided to start collecting photo cards, and it was just more of like a, I have nothing else to do with my life, so might as well start now kind of thing. But yeah, that's kind of what made me start to collect photo cards. Somebody asked my skincare routine. I really hate to break it to you, bestie, but I hate skincare. I just don't use skincare. I'm so sorry. I don't even wash my face. Don't look at me. Yeah, I don't use skincare. I'm so sorry. How do you stay motivated? Wow. It's a very hard thing. I'll do it school and I'll do it like work. So for work, obviously like for YouTube, how do I stay motivated with YouTube? I think the biggest reason why I'm motivated to make videos and to post content is obviously because of you guys, but also just because I really enjoy my content. Like the content I make, I really enjoy. It's the content that I like to watch. So making it is a lot of fun. And I think that because I enjoy making it so much, I stay very motivated. And then obviously because of you guys, I also loved reading your comments. And then also it's my job now, so you gotta get the bills paid. But yeah, I think like that's the easiest way for me to stay motivated. And then for school, it's really hard for me because learning the same subject for almost 11 months in a row now has been really hard on me, because usually, you know, like in college and even in like high school and stuff, like you change subject a lot. Like you're not really learning the same thing every 5 seconds. But obviously I've only learned the Korean language for almost 11 months now, like I said, which has been very hard on me. But I think that again, because I have like goals that I want to achieve and I'm thinking about possibly going to university in Korea, I know what I need to do. So I guess like that's the motivation. The motivation is that I don't want to disappoint anyone, so I keep going. In your opinion, what makes a group fun to collect, and what collection is the most fun for you? I think the thing that makes it fun to collect, if it's pretty, what makes it? I think everything's fun. I think the most fun groups I have collecting right now are probably, I'm really enjoying collecting NCT right now, and I really enjoy collecting TXT. I think when it's not too expensive, that's when I enjoy it. You will be given a chance to debut in a K-pop group. What position would you want and what company? That is so much. I am never going to debut, and I'm very self-aware because of that, but if I could, I definitely would say main vocal and SM. Like I feel like every company in K-pop has like a negative and a positive, but SM, I feel like their vocalists are just like so freaking talented. I want to get trained at SM. I think it would be so cool to take a singing lesson at SM. Like I just think they know what they're doing with their vocalists. So as somebody who like I love to sing, I think I would definitely want to go to SM, and I would be a main vocalist because main vocal anyway. But yeah, those are all the questions that are not like collecting related. So if you guys aren't interested in my collection, which I don't know why you wouldn't be, but we're gonna get on to the collecting questions now. How are you able to keep up with everything going on for so many groups, comebacks, and merch? I think that prioritization is a very big thing. Being able to prioritize who you collect and what you're collecting, and kind of have like, think of the timeline. Like most groups, I would say usually groups have comebacks every 4 to 6 months usually. So if you kind of know like the timeline and like what groups you collect, I feel like it's not that difficult to kind of prioritize in that way. But yeah, I think that one of the things that is easiest for me is that prioritizing, budgeting, it's very difficult, I'll be honest. The amount of comebacks sometimes, like I feel like right now is like my perfect time where there's really no comebacks happening, but like when there's months like August when there was like 20 million comebacks, that stresses me out. But definitely prioritizing, budgeting is just the easiest way to do it. What's your most priority Subin item? Again, hoodie Subin, or what's my most, let's check my template. What's my most priority? Hoodie Subin, or oh my god, the Yeonbin unit. I know it's not that expensive, but I just refuse to buy it. The Yeonbin unit from Chaotic Wonderland, I still need to buy that, so that's a priority right now. How hard has it been to collect TXT OT5? What about Subin non-album? From my experience, collecting TXT OT5 has been a breeze, and that is only because I already had the expensive members out of the way. I feel like a lot of people again, get very frustrated when we talk about member pricing, but it's just something that happens. Like, it's never really gonna go away, unfortunately, as much as we all want it to go away. And I'm not saying that this is my idea of like, oh my god, this member is better than this member, because I genuinely love all of them so much, but it's just something that it's just a thing. And because I did the 2 expensive members years ago, basically, I only really had to take care of the other 3 members, and they are less expensive, so collecting them has been not that hard at all, honestly. Especially on Korean sites, they are not expensive at all, so I have gotten some like insane deals on photo cards. As you guys probably saw from my templates, a lot of the stuff is done already. What about Stupid Not Album? Stupid Not Album is expensive, I'll be honest. It's been a lot more expensive than I thought it was going to be. Well, I guess I knew it was gonna be expensive, but I've honestly just been taking my time with it, getting 1 card here and there, and I just really have been enjoying it. So I think that's the most important part, is I've been enjoying it. Is there any groups you hate collecting? Yes. Okay, sorry everyone, camera died and now this battery is kind of flashing, so we're gonna go through it quick. But I wouldn't say like I mean, yeah, I do really get frustrated very easily collecting some groups and opposed to others. So yeah, there's definitely groups I prefer collecting over others, but I don't plan on downsizing anytime soon. Are you planning on collecting any new groups? No. Is trading in Korea easier? I don't trade in Korea. I only really trade with friends, so I haven't really had any experiences. How do you decide what gets put inside the binders and what stays in the album? Like for inclusions, I think for me personally, I just do what looks nice. So like if I find an inclusion that I really enjoy, I'll put it in my binder, but as a general rule, I don't put everything in my binders. First and latest person you collected. My first person I ever collected was Hyunjin from Stray Kids, and my latest person that I added is a secret. Any group that you really want to collect in the near future, I think I do want to start a Stacy album collection and a P1 Harmony album collection, but as for photo cards, secret. Would you switch over to A5 binders? No, I have way too many cards. If you guys haven't seen like the amount of photo cards I have at home, I have right now 12 binders at home full of cards. So that's like way too many cards that if I put into A5 binders, I would need probably like a small army of A5 binders. I definitely think there are some collections I would love to switch. Like I was thinking honestly about putting Bowman into an A5 binder to see, maybe try it out. And if not Bowman, maybe another small collection. The thing with me is I have a lot of, like, all the people I collect photo cards for have a lot of photo cards. So I think it'd be really hard for me to switch completely to A5s. But like I said, I have way too many cards to do it. But I think for right now, I'm thinking about putting Bowman. I think it'd be really cute. I really like mini binders. I think they're so cute, but I have way too many cards, unfortunately. But yeah, that's kind of all the questions that we have today. Thank you guys so much for submitting them and just for giving me lots of love. I literally love you guys so much, and I obviously love like my job, and I love what I'm doing. But it's all thanks to you guys. So thank you guys so much. I love you guys. Okay, I'm being sappy, but I love you guys. So yeah, that's gonna be the end of today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you guys for submitting all the questions, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye everyone. Mwah.